I found my husband and sister having an affair in the kitchen. I paid to renovate with her, making excuses like our mother once did for her actions. I can't move. If I move, it becomes real, and I have to accept what I saw and think of what's next. I came home from work early and saw my sister's car, thinking maybe she was dropping off some food from her job, but no. I walk in and see my husband and sister naked in my kitchen, the kitchen I paid for. As soon as I registered what I saw, I got into my car and left. I kept driving, just driving, driving, until I found the hotel I'm at now. I don't want to believe it. I don't know what to do. My sister, my only family, and my best friend, the one who's supposed to be there for me and support me, my husband, my person, my other half, the one who's supposed to love and respect me, the two most important people in my life, have ruined everything. I've blocked them both on my phone. I don't want to hear any of the excuses they'll come up with. I don't want to confront this. I want to go back to this morning when everything was fine. Comments. Comment 1. Unblock them and just let their calls go to voicemail. Turn the ringer off for each of them in your contacts. That way you can get recorded proof of their apologies and excuses via voicemail. You may need that type of proof for your divorce. Comment 2. Just from a banking standpoint, I work at a bank. File legal documents intending to separate. Open an NDVY dual bank account. Start your paychecks going there after you file your separation papers. I don't know what state you are in, whether it's a community property state or not, but keep everything as clear-cut as possible so there won't be issues down the road. Deal with them with your head held as high as possible. Don't take there and cry when no one is watching. In front of them, be the badass that you are. They are the lowest of the low, and they will prey on your perceived weaknesses. Best of luck, Opit. I am not a lawyer, and I cannot give legal advice. Them, both of them. The my only family part is what hit me hard. I'm so sorry, Opie. Oh yeah, we cut contact with our abusive parents 7 years ago. Thought we were supposed to have each other's backs always. Update. 3 days later, sorry for not replying to comments and not updating. Things have been hectic. I didn't think I needed to explicitly say this, but by naked, I meant they were but naked and in the kitchen. I admit mentioning that I paid for the kitchen was odd and kind of funny, but anyone that knows me knows that the kitchen is my pride and joy, so yes, when I saw my sister and husband in my kitchen, it stuck with me. And yes, they did see me. When I got to the hotel, I cried for a few hours, and then I just wanted to tell someone, anyone. The two people I would talk to when something happened in my life were the two I needed to talk about, and it was 11-something in the evening, so I wasn't going to disrupt my friends' evenings and burden them. So instead I came to read it, thinking not many would see it. The response I received was overwhelming. I want to say thank you to everyone that sent me kind words and advice. Thank you so much for all the virtual hugs. I know I only commented once. It's because I had so much to think about and do. I appreciate all the love and support. There was so much amazing advice given in the comments. Although a lot of it was American-based, I still appreciate it. But one thing I did see a lot was to unblock them and keep the texts and calls as denke, so I did do that. After posting in another good cry, I knew that I had to get my together. I didn't have my sister or any family to help, so I had to do it myself. I started researching what my next steps were. In the morning, my friend called me saying my sister contacted her wondering if I had been in contact with her. I told her what happened, and she very kindly offered her spare room and her day off work to help me sort stuff out. I called in sick at my job, and my friend helped get things done. I got in contact with my friend who works at a bank, and she helped me start sorting my finances. My friend also found me a lawyer to consult with. After my phone consultation with the lawyer, I was so overwhelmed. I now know why so many women don't divorce their cheating husbands. It's such a lengthy, expensive, and emotionally draining process. I fortunately make a stable income and can support myself, and we fortunately don't have kids. I have to remember that things aren't going to happen in one day. It will all take time. As for the house, unfortunately his parents did buy it for us. And to be honest, after what I saw, I don't want it. I will try to get reimbursed for my beloved kitchen. Otherwise, it can burn for all I care. This has been super draining, but I knew I had to talk to them. I already knew there was no coming back for my husband, and when I checked his messages, they were exactly what I thought they would say. I'm sorry. It's not what it looks like. We didn't mean for it to happen. Please come home. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. Just absolute. A small part of me thought maybe I could find it in me to forgive my sister, as we only have each other. But after I opened her messages, all hope was lost. She used the same excuses we heard our father use when he cheated on our mother and beat us. She said the same things our mother would say when she would excuse our dad's behavior and also beat us. I spoke to her this morning and asked her to tell me straight up who, what, where, when, and why. She told me back in July when I went on a girls' trip, she was at our house and joked to my husband that I would cheat on him on the girls' trip because that's what always happens. He said, nah, and they joked about it, but she said he could get even with me, and they ended up doing it once, one time, to 2, to 3, then to whenever they could do it. There was never any vy denke or signs or anything that I was going to or even thinking of cheating. I told her we were done, and there is nothing she could do to bring us back together. I later received a call from an unknown number. It was my mother, who I haven't spoken to in 7 years. Turns out my sister has been in contact with her and told her what had happened, and my POS mother, the same woman who beat me for breathing wrong, had the audacity to say this is what I get for taking her daughters away from her. It hurts so much. I know things are going to get messy, and this is going to be a long few years. I've now lost all my blood relations. I need to get all my and find a new place. I want to show them that I can and I will thrive without them. Again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart for all the love and advice, all the people in the comments that could relate to me. I'm so sorry. Comments. Comment 1. I'm very proud of you for taking charge and standing up for yourself. I know it's very hard, but you got this. You will get through this. Thank you for your kind words. It's pretty hard losing the only family I had, but I'm trying so hard to stay optimistic. Betrayal like this is devastating. It will be long and hard and draining, but I will make it. Comment 2. Fuddle family is more than blood. You happen to have some amazing friends. Keep them. You can do it, and you will make it through this. Comment 3. Hold your head high and cut all of them out of your life. Do his parents actually own the house, or did they just give money? Cut off mother and sister for good. Your sister had a piece of work. They gave my ex-husband the money for the house, so it's under his name, and yes, my sister can join my mother and do whatever. They're no longer related to me. Comment 4. Out of curiosity, have you asked his parents if they knew what was going on? This will give them the opportunity to hear what actually happened rather than the lies he'll tell to cover his bad behavior. As soon as I started receiving messages from his mother, I knew he had been feeding them a false narrative. She's been calling me names for bringing my cheating backside and my sister into his life. She never liked me because of my background and thought I should forgive my mother. Unfortunately, all I'll hear from them is that he's told them. Update 2. 10 months later, I actually forgot about this account until recently, and when I logged back in, I saw so many people still commenting, messaging me, and checking up on me. To those people, thank you for your kindness. Since so many still ask for an update, and I've already shared such a big part of my life, I may as well give a small update. Back in October, my life was in chaos, but I was determined to soldier through it and show them that I can make it without them and succeed. I had to meet with my ex to talk about the house, and he kind of gave up, and we decided to sell the house. I was reimbursed for my beloved kitchen. At first, my sister would show up at my job and my friend's house, but once I told her that I would get the police involved, she stopped. I haven't seen her since February. I did hear from my pathetic excuse of a mother again, but that was also shut down, and I have not heard from her since the end of last year. I'm from New Zealand, so my ex and I have to be levying separately for 2 years before we can divorce. Although I want nothing to do with him, I'm not too fussed. 1 year is almost done. I started therapy, which has been healing. I wish I had gone earlier. I have moved into my apartment, and I was promoted at work. I have also gone on 2 girl trips and had some extra fun these times as I was a single woman, and I've also just started seeing someone. He has been very kind. Thank you all again for your kindness. Hope this is the update you were waiting for. Comments. Comment 1. I'm glad you updated. You're happier. Never introduce the man to the family. Wouldn't put it past your sister to repeat her behavior. Cutting the toxic people in your life brings so much mental freedom. Levying a happy single life after divorce is a kindness to yourself. Best update so far. Comment 2. From what it sounds like, she's gone no contact with all of her family, sister included, the former because of the abuse and the latter because of the reason for this post. Now to the next story. I located Jude, also Tina, being unfaithful within the cooking area I funded to upgrade, along with her developing reasons just like our mum pre-VY usly did regarding her active VY ties. I can't progress. If I progress, it turns out to be genuine, and I need to acknowledge what I found to think regarding what straight away. I got back early through job and found Tina's vehicle belie VYing. Perhaps she ended up being shedding a few food items from the woman's job. Although VY virtually no. I get within to discover Jude and Tina without clothes in my cooking area, the cooking area I covered. The moment I recorded what I noticed, I actually got within my vehicle and vanished. I actually preserved DRIVYing, simply DRIVYing, 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 until I located the area we're in at this time. I actually don't want to have confidence in it. I am not sure how to proceed. Tina, my loved ones as well as my closest friend, the main one who is supposed to be at hand for me to aid myself. Jude, the indie VY dual I like, the one that's supposed to cherish and value myself. The two most VY tal people within my life currently have destroyed every little thing. I've blocked them either on my cell phone. I actually don't need to find out any reasons they'll think of. I actually don't want to face this specific. I want to return to now once every little thing ended up being great. Re-VY use. Evaluation 1. Unblock these indie VY duels and just allow the communications VY sit speech mail. Turn the ringer off for every one of these indie VY duels within your contacts. That way you can get saved EVY denke of their apologies and also factors VY as speech mail. You may want that type of EVY denke to your divorce. Evaluation 2. Simply just through the SAVY NGS account VYEW. We work in the SAVY NGS account. File legitimate records intending to indie VY duel. Open someone SAVY NGS account. Begin your own paychecks VY citing generally there once you document your own divorce or separation paperwork. I am not sure what condition you are throughout, whether it's any group residence problem or perhaps VY virtually no. Nonetheless, retain every little thing seeing that clear-cut as you possibly can to ensure VY virtually no issues on the road. Cope with these indie VY duels with all your travel stored since high as possible. Don't take their own and weep as soon as VY virtually know you are seeing. Facing these indie VY duels, function as the badass you are. These are the best associated with the low, and they will prey on your own perceived weaknesses. Best of luck, pedo. I am not a legal professional, and I are unable to give legitimate guidance. Either these indie VY duels. The particular my loved one's portion is precisely what struck myself difficult. I am consequently sorry, Peel. Good. We all lower contact using our abusive parents 7 years ago. Imagine we all ended up being supposed to get each other's shells constantly. Change. 3 days and nights later. Sorry pertaining to VY virtually no responding to comments, and also VY virtually no updating. Everything has also been mad. I didn't consider I needed to explicitly declare this specific, nonetheless by simply without clothes. I suppose they ended up being, but without clothes and also within the cooking area. I admit mentioning that while I paid for the cooking area ended up being unusual and type of witty. Nonetheless, anyone that is aware of myself is aware of that the cooking area is my pleasure and also joy. Thus indeed, as soon as I found Tina and Jude within my cooking area, that trapped myself. And indeed, they do observe myself. As soon as I surely got to the area, I cried pertaining to a couple of hours, and I simply wanted to explain to someone, anyone. The particular two indie VY duels I would talk with as soon as anything took place within my life ended up being the particular two I needed to speak about. And yes, it ended up being 11 anything within the evening. Thus I wasn't VY citing disrupt my friends' evenings and also load these indie VY duels. Thus alternatively, I came to read it. Belie VYing VY virtually no numerous would observe that. The particular reaction I received ended up being frustrating. I want to mention thanks for a person that delivered myself kind words and also guidance. Thanks a lot pertaining to the VY virtual hugs. I am aware I simply commented as soon as. It's because I needed a whole lot to take into account and also accomplish. I actually take pleasure in the adore and also support. There is a whole lot amazing guidance given within the comments. Although a whole lot than me ended up being American-based, I nevertheless take pleasure in that will. Nonetheless, a very important thing I do observe a whole lot ended up being to unblock these indie VY duels and also retain the particular texting and calls seeing that EVY denke. Thus I do accomplish that will. Following posting within another excellent weep, I understood which I needed to acquire my jointly. I didn't get Tina or perhaps any loved ones to aid. Thus I needed to accomplish that myself. I started researching what my next actions ended up being. In the morning, my friend called myself declaring Tina contacted there wanting to know if I had also been within contact using them. I explained there what took place, and he or she incredibly kindly provided their extra area and their moment away from work to aid myself sort stuff out. I called within unwell at my job, and my friend helped acquire things accomplished. I actually got within contact using my friend whom works at the SAVYNGS account, and he or she helped myself begin sorting my price range. My friend also found myself a legal professional to consult with. Following my contact consultation using the legal professional, I ended up being consequently mind-boggling. I know no Las Vegas DUI attorney a lot of women don't divorce their being unfaithful spouses. It's any prolonged, high-priced, and emotionally depleting approach. I actually luckily generate any secure cash and might support myself, and we all luckily don't get children. I must understand that items aren't VY citing take place within one day. It'll VY truly all take time. As for the residents, regrettably his parents do acquire that pertaining to us. Also to be truthful, after what I noticed, I actually don't want that. I'll try to acquire reimburse pertaining to my cooking area. In any other case, it could burn pertaining to all I worry. It is often super depleting. Nonetheless, I understood I needed to speak with these indie VY duels. I knew there is VY truly no returning pertaining to Jude, and as soon as I checked his communications, they ended up being the things I considered they would declare. I'm sorry. It's VY truly know what that looks like. We all didn't necessarily mean pertaining to that to take place. Please come back, residents. I actually thank you. Wow. Simply outright. A little part of myself considered perhaps I could acquire that within myself to forgive Tina once we simply get each other. Nonetheless, following I opened their communications, almost all desire ended up being misplaced. He or she used the particular same factors we all heard our dad use as soon as he or she cheated with our mom and also defeat us. He or she explained the particular same things our mom would likely declare as soon as he or she would likely excuse our dad's conduct and also overcome us. I actually talked with there this specific day and also expected there to tell myself directly which, what, in which, as soon as, and exactly why. He or she explained myself last come July 1st as soon as I continued any girl's trip. He or she ended up being at our residence and also laughed with Jude that I would cheat with your ex-girlfriend with the girl's trip because that is exactly what constantly takes place. He explained, nah, and they laughed about that well. Nonetheless, he or she explained they can get even with myself, and they ended up undertaking that as soon as, one time, Night Kingdom to be able to 2, to be able to about 3, next to be able to if they could accomplish that. There is VY truly no EVY denke, or perhaps signs or symptoms, or perhaps anything which I ended up being VY citing, or perhaps thinking about being unfaithful. I explained there we all ended up accomplished, and there is nothing he or she could accomplish to carry us returning jointly. I later on received any contact originating from any unidentified amount. It ended up being our mom, whom I have never mentioned to within 7 years. It becomes apparent Tina has also been within contact using there and explained there what got took place. And my POS mom, the particular same girl whom overcome myself pertaining to respiration incorrect, got the particular audacity to state this is exactly what I purchased pertaining to taking their daughters far from there. That is painful consequently significantly. I am aware items are VY citing acquire Messier, and this is VY citing be any lengthy several years. I've now misplaced almost all my blood vessels relations. I must acquire almost all my and discover any new area. I want to demonstrate to them which I may and I'll flourish without these indie VY duels. Once again, thanks a lot an indie VY duel originating from the lower part of my heart pertaining to the adore and also guidance. All the indie VY duels within the comments that may relate to myself. I am consequently sorry. Re-VY use. Evaluation 1. I am incredibly proud of one to taking charge and also getting yourself ready for yourself. I am aware it's incredibly difficult. Nonetheless, you have this specific. You will get through this specific. Thanks a ton pertaining to your kind words. It's pretty difficult shedding the soul loved ones I had. Nonetheless, I'm trying consequently difficult to stay confident. Betrayal similar to this can be devastating. It will be lengthy and also difficult and also depleting. Nonetheless, I'll allow it to be. Evaluation 2. A loved ones is more than blood vessels. You happen to acquire a number of friends. Retain these indie VY duels. You can accomplish it, and you'll allow it to be through this specific. Evaluation about 3. Retain your mind substantial, and also lower all of these individuals from your life. Do his parents basically individual the residence? Or do they simply give income? Lower away from mother, and also Tina pertaining to excellent. Your own sister got a piece of work. They gave my ex-husband the income to the residence. Thus it's below his identify. And indeed, my Tina can become a member of my mother and also accomplish whatever. There will no longer related to myself. Evaluation several. Out of interest, did you inquire his parents when they understood what ended up being going on? This can give these individuals the opportunity to find out what basically took place rather than the lies he'll tell to cover his undesirable conduct. As soon as I started receiving communications originating from his mother, I understood he had also been food preparation these individuals any bogus story. He or she is often contacting myself brands pertaining to getting my being unfaithful backside, and also my sister within his life. He or she never enjoyed myself because of my qualifications, and also considered I should forgive my mother. Sadly, almost all I'll hear originating from these individuals is the he or she is explained these individuals. Change only 2. 10 months later, I actually forgot about this specific accounts until lately, so when I logged back within, I found consequently a number of individuals commenting, messaging myself, and also checking on myself. To those individuals, thanks a ton pertaining to your kindness. Given that consequently a lot of nevertheless question a great revise, and I've already shared this kind of big section of my life, I may too give any tiny revise. Back inside August, my life was within mayhem. Nonetheless, I ended up being identified to be able to knight in shining armor through that and demonstrate to them, which I may allow it to be without these individuals, and also be successful. I needed to fulfill with my ex to share the residence, and he type of gave upward, and we all chose to market the residence. I actually ended up being reimbursed pertaining to my cooking area. In the beginning, my Tina would likely show up at my job and my friend's residence. Nonetheless, as soon as I explained there which I would likely find the authorities engaged, he or she quit. I have never witnessed there since February. I did hear originating from my pathetic justification of the mom once more. Nonetheless, that has been also closed along, and I haven't heard originating from there since the end of last year. I am originating from New Zealand, thus my ex, and I must be levying separately pertaining to 2 years ahead of we all may divorce. Although I want nothing related to your ex-girlfriend, I'm not too angry. 1 year is almost accomplished. I started treatment, which happens to be healing. I wish I needed gone earlier. I've shifted within my apartment, and I ended up being promoted at work. I have also continued 2 girl outings, and also got several additional fun these days as I ended up being any solitary girl. And I've also simply started seeing someone. He has also been incredibly kind. Thanks a ton and individual once more pertaining to your kindness. Desire this is the revise you ended up patiently waiting pertaining to. Reviews. Evaluation 1. I am satisfied and individual kept up to date. You are more content. In no way introduce the man to the loved ones. Wouldn't place that pre-VYS your own sister to repeat their conduct. Lowering the harmful individuals within your life pro-VY to consequently a whole lot mental independence. Levying any content one life following divorce can be any kindness to yourself. Best revise consequently far. Evaluation 2. Originating from precisely what which audio just like. He or she is long gone VY truly no contact with all of their loved ones. Tina Incorporated, the pre-VYS because of the abuse, and also the second because of the reason pertaining to this specific article. At this point to the next tale, I found Drew, also Bess, being unfaithful within the kitchen area. I actually financed to upgrade, in conjunction with her producing reasons similar to our mum earlier do about her actions. I am not able to progress. If I progress, it becomes genuine, and I need to acknowledge what I discovered to think regarding what soon after. I actually returned early by job and found Bess's vehicle belie VYing possibly. She had been shedding several food items from woman's work. Nevertheless, simply no. I actually get within to discover Drew and Bess without outfits in my kitchen area. The kitchen area, I actually covered. The instant I actually noted what I observed, I actually surely got to my vehicle and faded. I actually held generating, just generating, until I actually located the place we are inside right now. I actually don't want to believe that I am not sure how to proceed. Bess, our family members, and also our best friend, the person who is intended to be present to aid personally. Drew, the indie VY dual I love. The indie VY dual who's intended to cherish and also worth personally. The two most crucial people inside our life already have destroyed everything. I have blocked each of them about our cell phone. I actually don't want to find out any reasons they will imagine. I actually don't want to face the particular. I want to return to today anytime everything had been great. Comments. VY EU is single. Unblock these people and simply make it possible for the calls to VY sit tone of voicemail mail. Turn the ringer away from regarding each one of these people inside your contacts. That way you may get saved proof their apologies as well as elements VY a tone of voicemail mail. You will want in which type of proof to your divorce proceedings. VYEW2. Simply VY, AA cost SA VY, NGS consideration VYEW. We operate with a cost SA VY, NGS consideration. Data genuine records aiming to indie VY dual. Open to person cost SA VY, NGS consideration. Start off your own paychecks going at this time. They're the instant you file your indie VY dual separation forms. I am not sure what state you are inside. If perhaps it can any collection residence matter as well as VY totally no. Even now keep everything as clear-cut as you can to make sure that simply no troubles on the streets. Deal with the people along with your head stored since substantial as you can. You shouldn't have there and even weep after simply know you are seeing. Facing the people, operate as being the badass that you are. Those are the very best related to minimal, and they will prey on your own perceived weaknesses. Good luck. Oh tip. I am not really a lawful professional, and that I aren't able to give genuine assistance. Those. The particular my family member's element is exactly what reach personally challenging. I am consequently sorry. OIP. Superior. All of us reduced exposure to our abusive moms and dads several years back. Imagined all of us had been intended to acquire the other person's shells continually. Update. 3 days as well as evenings after. Sorry pertaining to simply no responding to comments as well as simply no upgrading. The whole thing has been crazy. I didn't imagine I had to specifically say this particular, even now by simply, without outfits. Inches I actually imagined these people had been backside without outfits and also inside kitchen area. I actually acknowledge bringing up which I covered kitchen area had been peculiar and type of witty. Even now everyone which is familiar with personally is familiar with the kitchen area is my delight and also delight. Therefore yes, the instant I actually observed Drew and also Bess inside my kitchen area, which trapped personally. And yes, these people do observe personally. The instant I actually surely got to the place, I actually cried pertaining to several hours, and I actually simply wanted to spell it out personally. Anyone. The particular two people I would speak with the instant anything occurred inside my life had been the particular two I needed to discuss. And yes, it had been 11 something inside the evening. Therefore, I wasn't going to disrupt my friends' evenings and also load the people. Therefore, instead, I actually found Reddit. Believe VYing simply no several could observe that. The particular response I gotten had been frustrating. I want to say thanks to you pertaining to a person which directed personally kind phrases as well as assistance. As a consequence, a lot pertaining to the VY ritual hugs. I am aware I actually simply commented at any time. It is because I needed a whole lot to consider and also accomplish. I actually get pleasure from the appreciate and also assistance. There is a whole lot wonderful assistance given inside the comments. While a whole lot than that had been us, I actually still get pleasure from which. Even now one thing I really do observe a whole lot had been to unblock the people and also keep your text messages and also calls seeing that proof. Therefore, I really do accomplish which. Next, posting inside another excellent weep, I understood which I was required to receive my jointly. I didn't get Tina or perhaps any loved ones to aid. Therefore, I needed to accomplish which personally. I actually start off researching what my next actions had been. In the morning, my friend generally known as personally stating Bess got called the woman wanting to know if I had already been inside exposure to the woman's. I actually described the woman what took place, and the woman's very kindly offered the woman's additional place and the woman's moment away from work to aid personally sort stuff out. I actually generally known as inside not well with my career, and my friend helped obtain things achieved. I actually have an exposure to my friend exactly who operates for a cost SA, VY, NGS consideration, and the woman's helped personally start off sorting my selling price range. My friend in addition found personally a lawful professional to refer with. Next, my exposure consultation while using lawful professional, I had been consequently head-boggling. I am aware, understand Las Vegas DUI attorney, a lot of women don't divorce their being disloyal partners. It is just a prolonged, high-priced, and emotionally draining technique. I actually happily generate any secure cash and may possibly assist personally. Therefore, we all happily don't acquire young children. I've got to recognize in which elements aren't going to take place inside one day. It'll just about all require time. As for your home, unfortunately his moms and dads do obtain in which pertaining to us, as well as genuine to be truthful. After what I observed, I actually don't want in which. I'll try to acquire reimbursed pertaining to my cooking area, or else it could burn pertaining to almost all I worry. It is often super draining. Even now I understood I needed to speak with the people. I actually recognize there is simply no returning pertaining to Drew, and also the instant I actually checked his communications, they had been those things I considered they might say. I'm sorry. It is simply know exactly what in which appears to be like. All of us didn't fundamentally indicate pertaining to in which to occur. Please return residence. I actually enjoy you. Wow, wow, wow. Simply outright. A little element of personally considered potentially I possibly could acquire in which inside personally to forgive best when we simply acquire the other person. Even now next I actually exposed the woman's communications. Almost all desire had been dropped. The woman's explained the particular exact same elements all of us heard our father or mother make use of the instant he or she cheated along with our new mother and also overcome us. The woman spelled out the particular exact same things our new mother may well say the instant the woman's may excuse our father or mother's conduct and also overcome us. I actually spelled out the woman's this specific night and also anticipated the woman's to spell it out personally precisely. Which, what, exactly where, the instant, as well as the key reason why. The woman's described personally very last occurred July 1st the instant I actually continued any girl's trip. The woman's had been at our residence and also laughed while using Duke, which I may well cheat on her along with your girlfriend while in the trip, because that is exactly what consistently occurs. He explained, nah, inches, and they laughed about which will. Even now the woman spelled out they can acquire perhaps along with personally, and they completed in place accomplishing in which as soon as, one night, to be able to several, to be able to concerning three, and then to be able to the instant every time they could carry out in which. There is simply no proof, or perhaps signs or symptoms, or perhaps anything in which we had been gonna, or perhaps considering being disloyal. I actually spelled out the woman's, all of us completed, and there is truly no element the woman's may well accomplish to transport us returning along. I actually in the future gotten almost any consult starting up originating from almost any unidentified amount. It had been our new mother, whom I haven't referred to as in just a several years. It becomes EVY dent best is as well inside exposure to the woman's and describe the woman's what gotten took place. And my POS new mother, the particular exact same girl whom defeat personally pertaining to respiration incorrect, acquired the particular nerve to say this is exactly what I actually obtained pertaining to taking the woman's kids a long way a reduced amount of the woman's. That is harming consequently significantly. I am aware elements are going to acquire Messier. And also this is going to be any lengthy several years. I've right now dropped almost all my blood veins family members. I've got to acquire just about all my and see any new area. I want to illustrate for the people which I might and I'll prosper without these NDVY duels. Once again, say thanks to your originating from the lower part of my coronary heart pertaining to the appreciate and also assistance. All the people inside the comments that may well talk to personally. I am consequently sorry. Comments. EU is single. I am extremely pleased regarding one to taking demand and also acquiring oneself established pertaining to yourself. I am aware it is incredibly challenging. Even now you have this specific. You are likely to receive as a result of this specific. Say thanks to you tons pertaining to your kind text. It is rather challenging losing the only real loved ones I personally. Even now, I'm trying consequently challenging to stay positive. Betrayal just like this may be devastating. It will be lengthy and also challenging and also draining. Even now I'll permit that to occur. ReVYEW2. A loved ones is more than blood veins. You happen to acquire many buddies. Maintain the people. You can accomplish it, and you'll permit that to occur as a result of this specific. ReVYEW regarding 3. Keep the mind significant and also reduce just about all the people outside your life. Do as moms and dads generally NDVY duel your home. Or did they simply give income? Reduce aside new mother and also best pertaining to brilliant. Your sister acquired a piece of work. They gave my ex-partner your income to the residence. Consequently, it truly is below his discover. And sure, my best can become a member of my new mother and also accomplish whichever they are will no longer connected with personally. Re-VYEW several. Away from attraction, have you inquired his moms and dads as long as they recognized what had been going on? This could give the people an opportunity to see what generally took place in lieu of the lies he'll tell to cover his undesired perform. The instant I actually start off getting communication starting up originating from his new mother, I understood he had already been food preparation the people any bogus story. They often contacting personally details pertaining to pro-VY-ding my being unfaithful backside, and also my sister within his life. He or she by no means enjoyed personally due to my criteria, and also considered I should forgive my new mother. Unfortunately, almost all I'll hear starting up originating from the people can be what he or she is spelled out the people. Update only 2:10 several weeks in the future. I actually neglected regarding this specific bill until more lately. And also the instant I actually logged returning inside, I observed consequently a number of people commenting, messaging personally, and also looking at regarding personally. To the people, say thanks to you tons pertaining to your kindness. Given that consequently many on the other hand request a terrific upgrade, and I've already shared this type of significant element of my life, I could also give any small upgrade. Returning inside August, my life had been inside disorder. Even now I had been discovered to be able to knight during gleaming armor as a result of that and demonstrate for the people, which I may make it without the people, and also come to be successful. I needed to fulfill using my ex to share your home, and he form of gave up, and we all manufactured a decision to promote your home. I actually ended up reimbursed pertaining to my cooking area. In the beginning, my best may well come at my career and my friend's residence. Even now the instant I actually spelled out the woman, which I may well find the government bodies involved, the woman's quit. I haven't seen the woman's considering that February. I did hear starting up originating from my pathetic reason for the new mother all over again. Even now that had been in addition and closed along. And I haven't heard starting up originating from the woman's considering that the end of this past year. I am starting up originating from New Zealand, consequently my ex, and I've got to become residing in DVY duly pertaining to several years when almost all of US may divorce, although I want simply no link to your ex.